We are set for baseball from Coolray Field in Lawrenceville, Georgia. 85 degrees, clouds overhead, but plenty of sunlight sprinkling the diamond today as the Stripers wrap up a 6-game homestand and a 6-game series against the Memphis Redbirds, the AAA affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. Stripers lost the opening game of the series 8-2 back on Tuesday, but they've been reeling off nail-biter wins ever since. They've had 4 straight victories, all decided by 2 runs or less, including a 6-5 win last night. We'll see what they can get done behind right-hander Nolan Kingham here today. Kingham, the slow-par starting pitcher, making his 2nd spot start of the season and 12th overall appearance. Numbers between his bullpen time and that 1 spot start, outstanding. 1-0 record, 2.01 ERA, 156 opponent average. He's walked only 2 while striking out 19 this year, over 22 1/3 innings. 25-year-old Kingham from Las Vegas, Nevada, 6'4", 200 pounds, Braves 12th round pick in 2018 out of the University of Texas. And the lineup that he will face for Memphis today: Kramer Robertson, Lars Nootbaar, Paul DeYoung in the 1-2-3. Alec Burleson has been a tough customer in that cleanup spot. He's followed by Connor Capel and then Lucan Baker. That's the 4-5-6. Ali Sanchez, Ben DeLuzio, Evan Mendoza in the 7, 8, and 9 spots. It is Sunday, and so the Stripers are in those retro faux back uniforms modeled after the Atlanta Braves jerseys from the 1970s, made popular, of course, by Hammer and Hank Aaron. And the Redbirds go with their blue alternate tops, red letters and numbers trimmed in gold. And here comes Kramer Robertson with the curly brown hair flowing out the back of the Redbirds helmet. He'll dig his back foot right along the chalk line in the right-handed batter's box. Kingham with a bright red mitt has the baseball behind his back, ready to get to work today. He'll set his feet, working first base side of the rubber. First pitch of the day, check swing. He went around on that for a strike. And we get underway at 1:07 p.m. here in the Eastern Time Zone, 85 degrees. At Coolray Field. Nothing in 1 the count on Kramer Robertson, third baseman leading it off, hitting .206. 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, 6 stolen bases. A leg kick and the 0-1. And a called strike from Kingham, 84 on his slider. Kingham a 3-pitch arsenal, 4-seam and 2-seam fastball and the slider. And his 0-2 to Robertson. It's pounded foul third base side. That's over by the camera pit. And the count holds at 0-2 for Robertson. 27-year-old from Waco, Texas. Playing in his 10th game against Gwinnett this year. Crouched down in the right-handed box. The 0-2 is grounded past the mound, right out, rolling to the second baseman Perez. Short toss to first base gets Robertson, and 1 gone behind Nolan Kingham. Here is that Stripers defense on this Sunday. Phil Gosselin at third base, Braden Shoemake, the shortstop, Hernan Perez, we just heard from, at second. John Nagowski, the former Redbird, at first. An outfield of Alex Dickerson in left, Delino DeShields Jr. in center, Grayson Genesta in right, and Ryan Castile does the catching for Nolan Kingham. Here's Lars Nootbaar. First pitch a strike, riding the inside corner, 0-1 the count. Left-handed hitting Nootbaar, batting .229 with a home run, 4 RBIs, 2 steals. OPS at 7.78. And the 0-1. Inside corner strike again, 93 on that fastball from Kingham. And as the low walks total tells you, he is around the strike zone. He's going to throw on both sides of the plate with those 3 pitches, as he nearly rung him up looking on the inside corner. 94 just a tad inside, and Nootbaar was jumping back as that pitch connected with the glove of Castile. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Kingham strides, fires, and that ball is belted deep to right field. Back goes Grayson Genesta circling at the wall. Does he have a shot at this? He'll leap. It's gone. Do it to it, Lars. Lars Nootbaar with his 2nd homer of the year has given the Redbirds a 1-0 lead on Nolan Kingham and the Stripers. Off the bat, that looked absolutely destroyed to right field, and yet there's still a chance out there for a leaping attempt. It was an empty one ultimately. And it lands in the bullpen. And Nootbaar has circled the bases. So for the second straight day, the Redbirds get an early lead. And now here's Paul DeYoung taking a strike inside. Might have said Preston Tucker. That is, in fact, Grayson Genesta in right field. He's got the high socks on today, though. That's a different look for him. Kind of weird out there. Didn't look like him in my peripheral vision. 0-2 the count quickly on DeYoung, as Kingham tries to get settled back in after the home run. Second one he's allowed this year. Swinging a foul off to the right. 0-2 the count on DeYoung. He is batting .182, no homers, 4 RBIs, 1 stolen base, and a .464 OPS since coming down to AAA from the St. Louis Cardinals roster. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Slider down and away gets DeYoung. First strikeout of the day for Kingham. And 2 gone in this first inning. Umpires for today's game: John Bacon calling the balls and the strikes. Chris Marco at third base, Tom West at first. A 3-man crew as assigned by the International League. And into the left side box, the hottest hitter of this series for Memphis, Alec Burleson. They've had a tough time putting this guy back on the bench. He's batting .457 in 9 games against Gwinnett this year. 5 homers, 3 have come in this series. He homered yesterday. And inside, missing is Kingham. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a game-tying homer off Bryce Elder. 3-run shot on the 18th of May. Hit a game-tying 2-run homer off Waskari Noah the next day as he shoots this ball down the left field line and foul. Look out. There's only 2 fans, 3 fans in total in that entire 2-section span, and the ball was right at them, and they end up with a souvenir baseball. And as you can hear by the applause, everybody's all right. 1-2 pitch bounced in front of the plate, and the count evens at 2-2 on Burleson. So again, he homered off Bryce Elder, homered off Waskari Noah, and then a solo shot last night off Tuki Toussaint. A couple of games in this series he hasn't homered. He's still had multi-hit efforts. Kingham the 2-2, and that's laced to left field and deep. Curling towards the corner, Dickerson. He will track it down. Burleson not quite deep enough this time around. Ballpark will hold him, but it didn't hold Lars Nootbaar. His solo homer has Memphis on top 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. Stripers taking their first swings against Johan Oviedo on this Sunday. This is Gwinnett Stripers baseball on mycountry993.com. Memphis with a 1-0 lead on a solo homer from Lars Nootbaar at the top of the first off Nolan Kingham. And the Stripers coming to the plate to face right-hander Johan Oviedo for the first time today. Second time in the series, and his first pitch is a called strike at the knees of Phil Gosselin. 24-year-old Oviedo from Havana, Cuba, making his 9th start overall this year. 3rd time he's faced Gwinnett. Low and outside, the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Oviedo overall 3-2 with a .567 ERA, .243 opponent average. He's been hammered for 12 home runs in 39 2/3 innings, but didn't give up a homer when he pitched very well on Tuesday as he misses in the dirt. And the count 2-1. One of his best starts of the season back on Tuesday. 7 innings of 1-run baseball as Memphis won it 8-2. Shuffles the feet, kicks high, the 2-1, and Gosselin strokes that ball to left field and deep. Capel going back. He'll look up. It's off the bricks and gone. Start your trot, Phil Gosselin. The Goose gets loose for homer number 4, and Gwinnett ties it up on the first batter of the ball game. A leadoff shot for Gosselin. That's the 3rd one of those for Gwinnett this year. Drew Waters has the other 2. And that 1-0 lead for the Redbirds erased. And that's Oviedo's 13th long ball served up this year. What a start for Phil Gosselin. Saw his 8-game hitting streak ended last night. Well, he's on a 1-game streak today. Here's Braden Shoemake looking outside at ball 1. Shoemake coming off his 2nd career 4-hit game, and they've both come here in the month of May for the Stripers. Oviedo, a slight pause as now he fires home, misses high and wide, in the count 2 balls, no strikes to Shoemake. Batting .304, that now leads the ball club 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 4 steals, and a 793 OPS. Waist high set for the righty Oviedo. And now the 2-0 pitch, and that's pulled high in the air, shallow right. Popped it up. Lars Nootbaar is underneath. He'll reach up to make the catch, 1 away. Let's talk about the Memphis defense behind Johan Oviedo. Kramer Robertson's at third today. Paul DeYoung, the shortstop. Second baseman Evan Mendoza. Lucan Baker, a mainstay at first. Outfield of Connor Capel in left. Ben DeLuzio in center. Lars Nootbaar in right. And Ali Sanchez doing the catching for Johan Oviedo. Here's Preston Tucker. He's the DH today, batting third. He'll take an off-speed pitch outside, a 1-0 count. Tucker batting .287, 2 homers, 15 RBIs, and a 784 OPS. And the 1-0 from Oviedo outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. Oviedo, fastball, slider, his main 2 pitches. That's really all he needed on Tuesday. Also has a curveball and a changeup. And he spins that slider at 84 across the heart of the plate. A called strike, 2-1. Fastball about 95, slider in the mid-80s, curveball is mid-70s. The 2-1 pitch. Tucker waves over the top. Couldn't catch up to 95 at the letters. The count 2-2. A 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the first. Here's the 2-2 from Oviedo. Slap back to the screen. And the count holds at 2-2 for Preston Tucker. Tucker 3 of 15 on the series, 2 RBIs, had an RBI hit last night. 2 nights ago had the game-winning RBI in a last at-bat 4-3 victory. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back inside with a slider in on the hands of Tucker. There's Oviedo's first strikeout of the day. And 2 away here in this first inning. Here's Hernan Perez in the cleanup spot. Drawing a line where he wants to put his foot in that right-handed batter's box after putting the bat down as a reference point. He'll take some extra time in the back corner of the box to adjust the batting gloves. And now ready to start his day. Oviedo waiting patiently, and now he'll deal home. And that ball is lined to left field, carrying pretty well towards the corner, but Connor Capel will chase it down. And the inning is over. A leadoff homer for Phil Gosselin. Stripers tie it up in the bottom of the first on that blast. Gosselin's 4th of the year. A 1-1 game here against Memphis as we go to the top of the second on mycountry993.com. The Redbirds and the Stripers exchanging solo homers in the first inning. We're tied at 1 going to the second. And already the day is done for Nolan Kingham, so his spot start was truly just that. 1 inning of work today for Kingham, and now it's right-hander Brandon Sittinger taking over. So welcome to a Johnny All-Staff day for the Stripers here in the final game of 6 against the Redbirds. 1 inning pitch for Kingham, 1 run on 1 hit. Struck out 1, that's his final line. And now it is a 27-year-old Brandon Sittinger, 6'1", 200 pounds from the state of Ohio. Close stance on the hill. First pitch to Connor Capel is inside, ball 1. This is Sittinger's 12th appearance for the Stripers, 1-2 record with a .798 ERA, .350 opponent average. Is 1-0 to Capel. He is fouled back over the screen. Well, Sittinger typically a guy that can give them multiple innings. And I would assume that'll be the plan today. Last time Sittinger threw was on Tuesday, so it's been a while. He threw 34 pitches in that outing. Here's the 1-1 to Capel, and that's hit on the ground into the teeth of the shift, but past Hernan Perez. It rolls into right field, a base hit. Stripers were shifted that direction for Capel, and he put it on the ground, but rolled it in the right spot. Too far to the right of Hernan Perez to make a play on it, and Capel's got a leadoff single. Here's Lucan Baker. Baker hitting .224, 7 homers, 14 RBIs, and a .731 OPS. And thought he had himself home run number 8 yesterday, but Drew Waters stole it from him as Baker swings and misses for strike 1. Waters elevated over the center field fence and robbed him of a homer. Sittinger's 0-1 is a slider low, a 1-ball, 1-strike count. It was a bright spot of the game for Waters, who then later on in that game got hit by the elbow by a pitch. Runner takes off here. Throw on down to second base by Castile. A delayed steal works out for Connor Capel. He went about halfway down and looked like a deer caught in the headlights for a minute. Stopped his motion and then ran the rest of the way. And Castile issued a throw to second base, but it was nowhere near close enough to get Capel. That's his 9th steal of the season. Almost like he was peeking back to see if Baker was going to put it in play, like it was a hit and run. And Baker took the pitch. And then Capel decided to keep on running to second. So that's another steal for the Redbirds. They've been very active on the base paths. They had 3 steals last night. Sittinger's 2-2 pitch is on the outside corner. Take a picture, it'll last longer. Luke and Baker watching up there. And he is gone on strikes. He had something to say to the home plate umpire, John Bacon, on his way back. One gone. Here's Ali Sanchez. Sanchez doing the catching today, batting .206 with a home run, 5 RBIs, 1 steal. He's got Capel standing at second. Right on the bag is Hernan Perez. He'll back up now. And Sittinger's first pitch fastball at 95 for strike 1. And I'm sure we'll see, as Capel typically does when he's in scoring position, trying to do a little dance out there, draw the attention of Sittinger, and there he goes. And Sittinger spins back in that direction. He's just been an irritant on the base paths in this series. Sittinger's 0-1. That's popped up on the infield, right side. Second baseman Perez with the sunglasses on to make the head-high catch. 2 away. And Capel's got to bring his dancing act right back to the second base bag. Here's Ben DeLuzio. DeLuzio down in the 8th spot, had a homer in the 9th last night off Dylan Lee to bring the Redbirds to within a run. It's as close as they would end up getting last night. But DeLuzio batting .233 now, 5 homers, 14 RBIs. He'll take in at the shins from Sittinger. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 of his 5 homers have come against Gwinnett this year. Had 1 up in Memphis in the opening series of the season. Sittinger the 1-0. And that slider spins to the outside corner. Strike called, 1-1. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup for Brandon Sittinger. Trying to throw a scoreless second. Here's the 1-1. And he stuck it in there, inside corner. And DeLuzio standing very close to the plate, thought it was inside, but nevertheless, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner at second for Memphis. Sittinger looks that way, and now the 1-2 home. Jam shot pop up over to first base. John Degowski right on it. Make the catch in foul ground, and the inning is over. So the pesky Connor Capel left stranded at second base, and we will head to the bottom of the second. Stripers and the Memphis Redbirds knotted up at 1 here on MyCountry993.com. Alex Dickerson, Grayson Genista, John Degowski, the 5, 6, and 7 to face right-hander Johan Oviedo. Gave up a leadoff solo homer to Phil Gosselin before mowing the next 3 hitters down. And here is Dickerson, who's getting locked in with some swing changes. Saw the evidence of those changes last night. Hit a 3-run homer out to right center. Oviedo's first pitch is smacked up the middle, but right at the shortstop to Young in the shift. He'll toss to first base, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Oviedo, getting Dickerson 6-3. 1 away for Grayson Genista. Genista playing right field, batting 6th today, a .274 average, 4 homers, 12 RBIs, .832 the OPS. And a foul tip back to the backstop screen off the bat of Genista. 0-1, 1 the count. Grayson Genista due for a home run. I've been saying that, and eventually it'll line up just right. And the multi-homer game here at Coolray Field on April 12th, nothing since then. Here's the 0-1. And he pulls that foul up the first baseline. What he has been doing extremely well has been going out to left and left center, which by his admission is something he didn't do a whole lot of last year in Double-A Mississippi. Using more of the field, he's also shown a really good eye at the plate, getting on base a lot. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he swings over the top of the slider here for the strikeout. That's Oviedo's second. And that's pretty much what he looked like on Tuesday. Johan Oviedo, fastball slider. A lot of that 1-2 punch of pitches. And now we'll see if John Nogowski can get something started with 2 outs. First pitch to no-go is a slider at 87, right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. 202 average for Nogowski, 2 homers, 13 RBIs, 3 steals, and a 608 OPS. This one coming in tight, almost caught a piece of his jersey. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Oviedo, the 1-1. Downstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike. Nogowski, 2 of his last 6 to boost his average back up over 200. Slowing it down now is Oviedo, and the 2-1 is hammered down the right field line, but that heads to the concourse. And it's a souvenir. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count for John Nogowski. 2 outs, nobody aboard for the Stripers here in the bottom of the second, a 1-1 ball game. No shift on whatsoever for the right-handed hitting John Nogowski. 2-2 pitch is popped up shallow right. Lars Nootbaar tracking it, waiting on it, making the catch, and it's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the second. We'll go to the top of the third. The Stripers and the Memphis Redbirds tied at 1 here on MyCountry993.com. Dave Lazat back with you at Coolray Field. We go to the top of the third, a 1-1 game between the Stripers and the Memphis Redbirds. It is Evan Mendoza in the 9th spot to lead it off against Brandon Sittinger. Works his second inning of relief. First pitch is popped to the right side. That will head out of play. Sittinger replaced the spot starter Nolan Kingham in the second. Gave up a leadoff single and a stolen base to Connor Capel, but retired the next 3 in a row to leave Capel at second. And now the 0-1. Foul back to the screen by Mendoza. 0-2 the count to the 25-year-old infielder from Sarasota, Florida. Mendoza just 2 of 24 on the series against Gwinnett this year. 1 RBI. 0-2 is hit on the ground. In the hole, it's short. Backhanded play by Shoemake. Throw to first base, very close, but not in time. Safe is Mendoza. Almost a highlight reel caliber play. Really still was for Braden Shoemake. Did it all right. Backhanded in the hole, it's short, falling away as he issued a perfect strike across the dime. It just wasn't in time to get Mendoza, who beats it out for an infield single. That's still impressive work by Braden Shoemake. He has really turned heads with that glove and arm all year. And we go back to the top for Kramer Robertson. He grounded out to the second baseman Perez to start up the day. Stripers will be shifted to the left. And the first pitch coming up high and tight, ball 1. And a 1-0 count to Robertson. Gosselin playing very close to the third base bag. Shoemake staying in the hole at short. Perez shaded up the middle. And this time able to find the inside corner with his fastball is Sittinger. 1 ball, 1 strike. Robertson holds on to the back of the helmet as he adjusts the bat. And Sittinger will turn and toss to first base. That'll check Evan Mendoza back in with a hand safely. Up and down this starting 9 for the Redbirds. Really everybody on their roster will run if you're not paying attention. And Mendoza's got 3 steals this year. And he's taken off. Pitches outside, throwing down to second by Castile, and not in time. That was close. Perez thought they had got him. Throw by Castile was arriving about the same time as the feet first slide of Mendoza. And not quite. So Mendoza with his 4th steal of the year. Every time they've had a guy at first base, it feels like they are looking to nab second. And the Stripers continue to really struggle in holding back the opponent run game. That's the 54th stolen base allowed by the Stripers this year. They have caught only 5 stealing all season long. And now Robertson pops one high behind first base. Nagowski, long run out. And Grayson Genesta flying in from right field to make the catch. Looked like that was going to be no-go or nothing for a while, and then Genesta, staying on his horse, tracks it down just crossing the foul line. So there's a big first out. Mendoza's got a hold at second. And here is Lars Nootbaar. A homer his first time up. Took Nolan Kingham deep into the right field bullpen for his 2nd home run of the year. And now growing his secondary lead and drawing a throw to second base is Mendoza. So it's not just Capel that does that out at second base. Must be a Cardinals/Redbirds philosophy to really try and get in the pitcher's head when you're in scoring position. And this ball sails on Sittinger, up and in on Nootbaar, ball 1. We saw it did affect, it looked like anyways, and I didn't talk to him today to confirm, but Touki Toussaint in a couple of spots last night ended up throwing behind hitters, letting a few get away from him. A couple of wild pitches with runners in scoring position. And now Nootbaar cracks one to deep center field. Back goes DeShields. He looks up, and this one is gone. Lars Nootbaar, his 2nd homer of the day as he visits the base of the batter's eye in center. And Memphis goes on top 3-1. A Nootbaar blast for the 2nd straight at bat. And that sounded good coming off that barrel. And DeShields only could watch as it sailed on out. I said it the other night, but when we saw Lars Nootbaar at the beginning of last season with Memphis, I really thought he was their best player. And then he got hurt for a little while. If I recall correctly, he got hit by a pitch here in Gwinnett, missed some time. But for all the top prospects they have, Nootbaar was really impressive a year ago. As Paul DeYoung quickly behind the count 0-2. And Nootbaar showing it off today, 2 homers, and he's driven in all 3 of their runs, although it's very early. We're only in the top of the 3rd. There's a chopper to short. 2nd bounce comes up high for Shoemake. Toss across to first, gets to Young, 6-3. 1 shortstop to another, and now 2 away for Alec Burleson. And that's going to be all for Sittinger. Here comes manager Matt Tuiasosopo. So pitch counts in effect, matchups in effect as well. And Tui will be using that depth of the bullpen all day today, as we'll make our first in-inning pitching change of the afternoon. Stripers trailing 3-1 here in the 3rd to the Memphis Redbirds. It's Gwinnett Stripers baseball on mycountry993.com. And now we'll see if Burrows can retire Alec Burleson, put an end to this 3rd inning, and get the Stripers back into the dugout. Burleson flied out to left field his first time up, 0 for 1 today. Burrows, the feet set. He'll twist and deliver, and that ball is lined to right center field and getting down towards the gap. And DeShields will cut it off. A bit of a tangle up there. The throw coming into second base, and in standing up with a double is Burleson. Hard to keep him off the base paths every game. And I'll tell you what, this is a very talented Redbirds lineup. They're missing Nolan Gorman, their home run, RBI, and everything else leader. He was called up mid-series to make his major league debut with the Cardinals. But the guys they still have here, Nootbaar and Burleson and Capel, got some very solid prospects in their lineup. And won't be sad to see Burleson headed out of town after this series wraps up. Here is Connor Capel. Good news for Burrows. He's got 2 outs and another lefty to face, but first, as that pitch sailed outside, Ryan Castile wants to go talk about it. So we have a moment to go pull up the season numbers on Thomas Burrows. A staple of this Stripers bullpen now for 3 seasons running. 27-year-old from Florence, Alabama, is making his 14th appearance of the year. 3-1 record, 3.52 ERA, 190 opponent average. Tough on lefties, tough on righties for that matter. And here's his 1-0. And there's a fastball connecting at 90 miles an hour. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hasn't been much downtime for Burroughs. He just pitched a couple of nights ago. 2 nights ago, as a matter of fact, but threw only 13 pitches and got the win. And this ball coming in on the fists of Capel. Fouled back to the screen, 1-2. Burroughs through 1 inning, gave up 1 hit. No walks, no strikeouts. 13 pitches, 8 strikes. And got the W. Stripers won that game 3-2 on a base hit by Preston Tucker. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's ripped to right field. Genesta going back on it. He'll look up. It's high off the wall. This is going to score Burleson. Throw coming into second base. Going to be a close play. Oh boy, feet first slide right into the arm of Braden Shoemake. Ball gets away. Now the throw to third base gets away. Capel's going to stop there. And the immediate concern is going to be for Braden Shoemake, the young and talented Striper shortstop. That throw from Genesta was coming in right on the feet of Connor Capel, sliding in. And the feet might have connected with the wrist and the glove. Took the glove off, knocked the baseball free. And that's Dan Gartner, one of the athletic trainers for the Stripers, taking a look right now at the left wrist of Shoemake. Let's watch it again. Great throw by Genesta. This ball, if it's held on to, is going to get the out. But Capel coming in feet first. Oh, he stepped right on his glove, took the glove right off. And might have bent the wrist back. And so the concern right now more about Braden Shoemake. Braves number 5 ranked prospect according to MLB.com. We saw Drew Waters have to exit a game yesterday after getting hit by a pitch down around the left elbow. And now Shoemake trying his best to stay in the ball game. Well, it was a late slide, but I didn't see anything. Obviously, Capel's just trying to get into second on a close play there. He's not trying to slide right into the glove hand as Shoemake. The throw by Genesta was just taking that glove into that spot. And this could be some good news. Looks like Shoe's going to shake it off and stay in. Still looking at the left wrist right now. That's his glove hand. And here's Lucan Baker. So count it an RBI for Capel. That's a double off the wall. And he goes to third base. They're going to charge an error in there. We'll find out exactly what it was as Baker looks at a strike inside and the count 0-1. So back-to-back doubles by Burleson and Capel, the 2 lefties that you figure Burroughs would have success against. Not the case. And now he misses inside to Baker, 1-1. One pitch popped up, first base foul ground. Racing after it, Nagowski, but this ball will ride the net and drops harmlessly foul. A 1 ball, 2 strike count. Lucan Baker. Stripers now down 4-1 in this game. 3 runs have scored here in the 3rd inning. 2-run homer by Lars Nootbaar, and now the doubles by Burleson and Capel. Shoemake is playing right behind the second base bag in the shift, and he's swinging a foul tip for strike 3. That'll end the inning. So Burroughs failed to get the lefties, but strikes out the righty, go figure. And the Redbirds have pushed their lead to 3 runs. 4-1 is the advantage for Memphis over your Stripers as we go to the bottom of the 3rd here on MyCountry993.com. 3 runs score for the Redbirds in the 3rd inning, and they go up 4-1 over your Stripers. Gwinnett coming up to the plate with Ryan Castile, Delino DeShields Jr., and then Phil Gosselin against Johan Oviedo, who misses up and into Castile for ball 1. So the Stripers have an early deficit for the first time really since Tuesday. And now this one comes inside and catches Castile. A breaking ball that backed up at 77 and glanced off the bicep of Castile. Somebody check the baseball, make sure it's okay. Not going to affect Castile. Guy's built of solid iron. And he's aboard at first. Here's Delino DeShields Jr., the center fielder, batting ninth, 281 average, no homers, 10 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. A check swing, they want the appeal, and he checked in time on the sweeping slider away, ball 1. Stripers have just 1 hit so far. That was Phil Gosselin's leadoff home run. Gosselin waiting in the on-deck circle. Oviedo, the 1-0 pitch, and he will find the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike on DeShields. Delino DeShields walked yesterday in his 1 plate appearance as a defensive replacement for Drew Waters. Up and in with a fastball, the count 2-1. And entering play today, DeShields' 5th in on-base percentage in the International League. A .405 mark, so he finds ways to get aboard. Swinging a foul tip that will roll through the grass and back to the backstop. The count 2-2. Castile, the first base runner the Stripers have had today since Phil Gosselin circled the bases. He's got hands on knees at first base as that ball is low and outside to DeShields, 3-2. It'll be good to see the Stripers with a counter-punch inning here in the 3rd after giving up 3 in the top half. And nearly seeing their star shortstop knocked out of the game. Here's the 3-2. Pops straight up. Over by second base, into the outfield grass. Mendoza waiting on it. And he'll make the catch, 1 away. Back to the top for Phil Gosselin. Gosselin, the leadoff homer to start his day. 3rd leadoff blast by a Striper this year, as I said on the call when he hit it. The other 2 belong to Drew Waters. And for Gosselin, hit number 292. His next hit, he'll be tied with Barbaro Canizares for 7th all-time in Gwinnett history. Canizares has 293, and Gosselin looks at ball 1. He's got the green striped socks on today, does Gosselin. Typically has that look going with these uniforms, and he'll take a pitch at the knees, a strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Castile at first, held on by Luke and Baker. Oviedo, the 1-1, swing and a miss, pulled the string on the inside breaking ball to count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braden Shoemake in the on-deck circle, a good sight to see. Right now it's Gosselin. And the 1-2 in flight, way outside. Overthrew it at 97, not anywhere close. It's a 2-2 count. Oviedo with the high set next to his head and the 2-2. Gosselin shoots that foul into the protective screen. Looks like Oviedo's doing a little bit of messing with timing today, not to the exaggerated extent of a guy like a Johnny Cueto that we saw last homestand, but with more of a slide step, quick pitch look the last time. Every now and again he'll add an extended pause before coming home with it. And now the 2-2. Gosselin fouls that back to the screen, staying alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Oviedo trying to find some different stuff that'll work for him this year. Last year he struggled in the big leagues and in AAA ball. Just could never get on track at either spot. St. Louis was so banged up in their rotation, they had to give him a shot. He had 14 games, 13 starts up there, but went 0-5 with a 4.91 ERA. Check swing liner back to the backstop. The count still 2-2 for Gosselin. And then in the times they sent him down to Memphis to get things worked out, he went 1-6 with a 6.13 ERA, so didn't pitch well there either. Trying to turn the page on last year. New season here in 2022. Some of the same results, though. 2-2 to Gosselin. Cued off the end of the bat. It'll trickle through the first base side grass, and the count's still 2-2. You wouldn't know it by the outings he's had in this series, though, but again, his ERA coming in was 5.67. The big stat, the home run ball. He's given up 13 this year, including 1 today. 2-2 pitch. Gosselin hammers that down the left field line, but it is foul. Got around on the curveball at 78. And a good battle going here between Gosselin and Oviedo. 2-2 the count. Back to first goes Castile. Bat ready behind the helmet for Gosselin. Oviedo another 2-2. A swing and a miss this time around, and gone is Gosselin. Just misfired on it. And that's the third strikeout of the day for Oviedo. 2 gone here in the third. Here's Braden Shoemake. And from the initial concern for Shoemake on that play at second base, throw coming in from Grayson Jenister right on the foot of Connor Capel. So it looked like could have been a real serious injury to seeing him bat. It's quite the turnaround as this curveball hangs high and wide. A 1-0 count. We saw the instant replay, saw the cleats of Capel bending the glove hand back of Shoemake. But here he is swinging the bat. Here's the 1-0. Outside with the breaking ball again, this time the slider. And it is 2-0 for Braden Shoemake. He's 0 for 1, popped up to shallow right field in the first inning. Bats here with his club down by 3. 4-1 your score in the bottom of the third. Runner at first base, Ryan Castile, was hit by a pitch to start the frame, but he's been stuck on first ever since. And now coming inside with a fastball. For strike one is Oviedo, 2-1. Two-one pitch, swing and a miss. Late on the heater, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stripers also saw Oviedo a year ago. In fact, they faced him twice and handed him a loss up in Memphis. Two-two on the way to Shoemake, outside, full count. And so Castile will get a chance to take off on the next pitch. Stripers won both of the games that Oviedo started for the Redbirds last year. 2-1 on a Travis Snyder 2-run double, and 5-3 here at Coolray Field on September the 3rd. There goes Castile. 3-2 is fouled off, and we'll do all that again. Full count, 2 outs. Castile at first. Shoemake in the box, lean back in the left side. There goes Castile. Here comes the pitch. It's at the feet of Shoemake, and the Stripers have 2 on with 2 outs for Preston Tucker. Shoemake didn't walk at all his first 2 weeks of the season, but he's been collecting walks at a pretty significant rate since then. And he'll fist bump Devin Travis down to the first base bag. As Preston Tucker grabs some dirt just outside of the left-handed batter's box on the hands with no batting gloves. We'll see if he can put one in a gap and help the Stripers cut into a 4-1 deficit. First things first, Ali Sanchez wants to go talk to Johan Oviedo. And keeps looking over to his dugout to see if anybody else will come with him, but it's just going to be Sanchez and the shortstop Paul DeYoung. Now they'll be joined by John Bacon. The Stripers wrapping up this 6-game homestand today, a day off tomorrow, and then they start up a 6-game series against the Norfolk Tides at Harbor Park on Tuesday. Stripers won't be back in town until Memorial Day, Monday, May 30th. A rare Monday game they'll play, of course, because of the holiday. Start of a 6-game set against the Louisville Bats. After the chat, ready are both sides. Here's Preston Tucker, and the first pitch to him catches the outside corner. 79 on the curveball, count 0-1. Tucker struck out swinging his first time up. That was in the first. And he's 0 for 1. Voice gave out there for just a half second. And Oviedo will step off the back of the rubber. As time was called by the catcher, Sanchez. It's a 0-1 count on Tucker. Castile at second, Shoemake at first. And they're still not all together ready to go. Finally, the 0-1. And that's along the inside corner for a strike. It looks like Tucker had tried to call for time or something. He's pointing out right now, saying something. This has been sort of a disjointed at bat. As first they had the visit, and then Sanchez called for time, and then there was time after that granted to somebody. And then Tucker just tried to call for time and didn't get it. Took a strike instead. He's behind 0-2. I think Tucker was pointing out to the pitch clock. Oviedo's 0-2 pitch. That gets away from the catcher. Runners will try to advance. Here comes the throw to third base. Castile hugs the bag as he slides into foul territory. Kept a hand on, and they both move up. That ball didn't get that far away from Ali Sanchez, but a good read there by both Castile and Shoemake. I'm going to call that a pass ball. And Castile with a head of steam, cleat first into third base. Had to hook that arm around the bag to keep from oversliding it. So now two in scoring position. They may both score on a base hit here by Tucker. And now time called just as Oviedo was ready to go home with it. He'll be dinged for an auto ball. And his efforts to try and slow things down, and I think mess with the timing of the hitters, it's getting very close to running out the clock, and finally that time he did, and they called him for it. So now the 2-2, and Tucker rolls that over first base side foul. Yeah, there's really not supposed to be any gray area if that clock runs out on the pitcher. Time called, auto ball. He might have gotten away with a couple of this inning. 2-2 to Tucker. It's grounded to the right side. On 3 hops to the second baseman, Mendoza. Short toss to first, and the inning is over. A lot of drama in that inning and no results. Stripers leave a pair aboard. And we go to the top of the 4th. It's Memphis leading at 4-1 here on MyCountry993.com. The tour of Gwinnett bullpen arms on this Sunday will continue with Connor Johnstone now on the hill. He will pitch the 4th inning. Took Brandon Sittinger and Thomas Burrows to get through the 3rd inning. And when the dust settled, Memphis had scored 3 to take a 4-1 lead. That is your score here in the top of the 4th. So here is Johnstone, who was the starting pitcher back on Tuesday in the series opener. Back into a regular relief role today. First pitch is outside to Ali Sanchez, the catcher batting 7th. 0 for 1 with a pop-up to second. And Johnstone with a slider that drops in for a strike. And it is 1-1 on Sanchez. So Thomas Burrows, his final line in this one, a 1/3 of an inning, 1 run on 2 hits. This ball smacked to third and fair inside and away from Phil Gosselin, and a base hit for Sanchez. That is the 7th hit of the day for the Redbirds. And a leadoff man aboard once again. Here's Ben DeLuzio. Johnstone working third base side of the rubber, and the first pitch, DeLuzio tries to drop a bunt down and fouled it off behind the plate for strike one. 27-year-old Connor Johnstone, jack of all trades arm for the Stripers, a spot starter / middle inning reliever. He's even been used in some high leverage spots towards the end of games this year. Braves 21st round pick out of Wake Forest in 2017, as it looks like DeLuzio might have hurt himself on that bunt attempt. Got that ball down towards the thumbs. And maybe he has got some stinging hands right now. That looks like what they're checking out is right hand. We've seen enough looks from trainers today, haven't we? Be good to get through this game without having to see another one the rest of the day. So DeLuzio back in. Crouched in open stance from the right side, and the pitch is pulled foul over towards the vacant Stripers on deck circle. The numbers on Connor Johnstone this year: 0-1 record, 3.22 ERA, 10 outings, 4 starts, 262 opponent average. He's also got a save this season, the first of his Gwinnett career. And this ball pops straight up, third base side. Gosselin over towards the coach's box. He'll make the call and the catch right on the Northside Hospital logo, and there's the first out of the inning. Second foul pop-up for DeLuzio today, although this one was on the opposite side of the field from his first one. 1 on, 1 out for Evan Mendoza. So already in this game, we've seen Nolan Kingham for 1 inning, Brandon Sittinger for 1 inning and 2/3, Thomas Burrows for 1/3 of a frame, and now it's Johnstone. And Mendoza leans back on a pitch headed for the chin, ball 1. Mendoza 1 for 1, a steal and a run scored. He was aboard for the Lars Nootbaar 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. 2-0 the count. Double play depth up the middle for Shoemake and Perez. And that fastball rides the outer third, a called strike, 2-1. Two-one pitch, line drive, left field, base hit. Dickerson gathers, fires it back to the field, but that's the second hit of the day for Mendoza. Mendoza down in that 9th spot. Hadn't been doing too much against Gwinnett this year. Prior to today, had gone just 2 of 24 in 7 games against the Stripers. No extra base hits, 1 RBI, 5 strikeouts, but he's 2 for 2 with 2 singles today. And we go back to the top for Kramer Robertson. 0 for 2, a ground out and a pop-up in foul territory. Runners at first and second for the Redbirds with 1 out. The pitch by Johnstone. A slider up over the helmet, ball 1. One-0 pitch is hit on the ground right to the third base coach. That's their hitting coach, Brandon Allen. And he almost picked that with a bare hand. That ball got up on him in a hurry, showing off the reflexes. And the count 1-1 on Robertson. Pitch from Johnstone. There's a called strike. 91 at the kneecaps. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Johnstone looking for his first strikeout of the day. Checks the swing. Did Robertson? Did he go upon appeal? No. It's a 2-2 count. As I mentioned, Johnstone got the start opposite Johan Oviedo on Tuesday. Took the loss, worked 2 innings, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned on 4 hits, walked a batter, didn't strike out anybody. 2-2 is down and in. It's a full count. And so rather than have him start again today, they figured they'd use him at some point, but give somebody else a shot in sort of that opener's role, so it went to Nolan Kingham today. Here's the 3-2, and that'll miss. Ball 4, they're loaded up. Two singles and a walk against Johnstone here in the 4th. And that's going to bring up Lars Nootbaar, who's already gone deep twice in this one. A solo shot of the first off Kingham. 2-run blast off the batter's eye in the 3rd off Sittinger. Stripers are down 4-1. Really can't afford to fall behind any further than this, with the way that Johan Oviedo has thrown the ball today. So here we go. Nootbaar feels like he's locked in. We'll see if Johnstone can find a way past him. And the first pitch well placed under his hands for strike 1. Homers 2 and 3 on the season for Nootbaar today. And Johnstone's 0-1 fouled straight back to the screen. 0-2 the count. Nootbaar started 2022 up in St. Louis, but hit 126, did not have an extra base hit in 7 games. They optioned him back to Memphis on April 25th. He's been here ever since. 0-2 is high in the air down the right field line. Genesta giving chase. This one's going to land foul on top of the concourse, but well struck again by Nootbaar. And Johnstone may have gotten away with one there. 0-2 the count. Let's bury one down low here. The 0-2 pitch instead is stroked to the gap in right center field. And this one is going to go as well. That's a 3-homer day for Lars Nootbaar. He didn't touch first when he watched that ball sail out. Goes back and touches the bag. And now he'll round for the 3rd straight at bat. Lars Nootbaar having himself an afternoon, and it's an 8-1 lead for the Redbirds. Unbelievable. That was a low line drive. Looked like he was maybe going to gap DeShields and Genesta, and then just kept on going and landed on the grass berm. I think it caught Nootbaar by surprise, quite honestly. Again, you don't see too many hitters just completely miss first base. Grand slam by Nootbaar. He's got a solo 2-run and now grand slam homer today. And here's a ground ball that will sneak through the left side of base hit. And the hits just keep on coming for the Redbirds. That's Paul DeYoung with his first of the day. And here's Alec Burleson. And here comes pitching coach Mike Morrell to go talk to Connor Johnstone. Well, let's dive into the Stripers game notes. Let's see if we can locate. It might not be in the game notes. This might be a media guide operation to try and find the last player to have a 3-homer game against the Gwinnett Stripers, because it has been a little while, I can tell you that. Not a stat we want to look up, but Lars Nootbaar has made it necessary today. He's got 8 RBIs for the day, or 7 RBIs rather for the day. And now this ball teed up to straightaway center by Alec Burleson. Back to the fence goes DeShields. Reaches back over his head, can't make the catch. They're going to wave DeYoung around. He will score without a throw, and the lead is now 9-1 Memphis. Another extra base hit for Burleson. He's got 2 doubles on the afternoon, and the rout is on. Stripers fall behind by 8 here in the 4th inning. Some frustrations being unleashed for sure by Memphis. They've been on the wrong end of 4 straight close games here in Gwinnett. All of a sudden, their offense erupting to life. still just the one out. Here's Connor Capel. RBI double for Capel the last time up. He is 2 for 2 today. He'll take inside ball 1. Check swing and a called strike, and the count 1 ball 1 strike. And that ball ripped into right field. That'll be another base hit. I'm going to put the stop sign on at third base for Burleson. And here comes the throw to first base. Almost caught Capel napping. Genesta threw rather than to the plate, trying to catch Capel over rounding the bag, and almost did that, but he's safe there with a base hit. So Capel's got a 3-hit game. Burleson now with third base. They're at the corners with 1 out for Lucan Baker. So the last Gwinnett opponent to homer 3 times in the game, as Lucan Baker fouls the first pitch back to the screen, was Eric Stamets of the Columbus Clippers back on June 16th of 2017, when the club was still known as the Gwinnett Braves. So it has been a long time since we've seen somebody hit 3 homers against Gwinnett. Lars Nootbaar has done it today. There's only been one to do it against the Richmond/Gwinnett franchise to hit 4 homers in a game. It's Bubba Trammell with Toledo back in 1997. Let's hope we don't have to talk about that stat later on. And here's a chopper to third. Chance for 2. Gosselin down to second for 1. Turn and toss to first. There's a double play. And that'll finally end this inning, but 5-run score. Lars Nootbaar with his 3rd homer and 3 at-bats. A grand slam to boot, as the Memphis lead is now 9-1 over your Stripers. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. It's been the Lars Nootbaar show today for the Memphis Redbirds. He's homered 3 times and has driven in 7. And the Redbirds have a 9-1 lead over your Stripers. Here's Hernan Perez leading off the bottom of the 4th. He'll take a strike from Johan Oviedo, maybe sitting on the bench that long half inning. Might have cooled him off. We'll see. Maybe that's a bright spot in all of this. Here's the 0-1. And just tailing off the plate to make it 1 ball 1 strike. Hernan Perez 0 for 1 today, lined out to left field. Connor Capel tracked it down to the corner. That was to end the 1st. And a 1-1 pitch, fouled back. And over towards the roof, a count of 1 ball 2 strikes on Perez. The only Gwinnett hit today, Phil Gosselin's leadoff homer that tied it at 1. But 8 unanswered since then for Memphis. They scored 3 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th. And leading out of the way of the inside slider is Perez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 12 hits already for Memphis today to Gwinnett's 1. Oviedo the 2-2, swing and a miss. Big sweeping breaking ball gets Perez swinging. And that's the 4th strikeout for Oviedo. So they had plenty of backing for him in game 1 on Tuesday. Scored him 8 runs, and he pitched very confidently and comfortably most of the way as a result. And certainly he's got to feel good about having 9 runs of backing already today in an 8-run lead. Here's Alex Dickerson. Low and outside, ball 1. Dickerson grounded out to the shortstop to Young, leading off the 2nd. Oviedo the 1-0 pitch. Dickerson takes that for a strike, 1-1. Shift is on to the right for the Redbirds. They've got Mendoza backed up into the grass, swing and a miss, strike 2, and it's a 1-2 count for Dickerson, who on multiple baseball reputable websites has the nickname of Grandpa, but when I brought that up to him the other day, he said, nobody's called me that in pro ball. It's a nickname from high school. And he taps it foul to stay alive, and I'll continue the story as a result. He said he got that nickname when he had back surgery at age 15. Doctors told him he probably wasn't even going to play varsity high school baseball, let alone make it to the pros, and yet here he is. He'll be 32 next week. Hardly a grandpa. Here's the 1-2. Cued off the end of the bat foul. Although he has collected many an injury over the course of his pro career. With the Padres, Giants, and now in his first year in the Braves organization. 1-2 to Dickerson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Johan Oviedo. He's starting to heat up. And that'll bring up Grayson Genesta. Well, the Braves in Miami right now, game 3 of that series against the Marlins. Early on, Ian Anderson and company trailing the Fish 1-0. Braves yet to reach base today. Genesta a one-handed swing and miss, strike 1, 0-1 the count. First run of the game for the Marlins coming on a Garrett Cooper sac fly, scoring Jazz Chisholm. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Genesta down to the count, no balls, 2 strikes. He struck out facing Oviedo back in the second. Oh, 2 on the way, diving down and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Oviedo strikes out the side in order here in the 4th. All swinging. His total up to 6 for the afternoon. He's rolling along, so too are his Redbirds. They lead it 9-1 here over your Stripers on mycountry993.com. Right-hander R.J. Alaniz will take over for the Stripers here in the top of the 5th. He is already the 5th different pitcher used today by Matt Tuiasosopo and company. And everybody's been equally hit by the Redbirds. They lead it 9-1. As Alaniz hopes to provide some stability for this ball game, maybe cover a couple of innings in relief. I think that was the hope for Connor Johnstone, but didn't have his A+ stuff today. As Johnstone worked 1 inning, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits, walked a batter, and allowed a grand slam to Lars Nootbaar, who is the big story on the afternoon. He's got 3 homers and 7 RBIs for the Redbirds. Thankfully, he's not due up this inning. If Alaniz can work to the bottom 3 alone, here's Ali Sanchez to lead it off. First pitch on the way from Alaniz, outside, ball 1. Sanchez 1 for 2, a single and a pop-up. Singled to start that 4th inning. Didn't look like much at the time, but it kicked off a 5-run frame that turned a 4-1 lead for Memphis into a 9-1 commanding lead. And Alaniz misses low and away again. A 2-ball, no-strike count on Sanchez. This ball is fisted to shallow right. Trying to get back in time, but it goes over the glove of Hernan Perez and lands for a base hit. That's the 13th hit for the Redbirds today. Everything's dropping either into the outfield like that or over the fence right now for them. They're collecting about a series worth of hits this afternoon. These are all the hits that haven't been falling for them the last 4 days. And they most certainly are. Here's Ben DeLuzio. He is one of the rare guys in their order that hasn't done anything so far. 2 pop-ups in foul territory. He'll swing and miss for strike 1. He and Luke and Baker, the only ones that have not reached and scored. Alaniz extended out from his body with the glove. He'll come home with a slider strike at 84. 0-1. 30-year-old R.J. Alaniz, the McAllen, Texas native. 6'4", 220. This is appearance number 13 with Gwinnett. 2-1 record with a 3.68 ERA. And here comes his 0-2, and a swing and a foul back to the screen. 222 opponent average for Alaniz, 20 strikeouts, 7 walks over 14 2/3 innings. He's got 1 save and 1 attempt. And again, hopefully eating up a couple of innings in the middle of this game today. Pitching depth is a lot different now with the expanded AAA rosters the last 2 years, but as DeLuzio pops another one up, This time it might stay fair. Shortstop Braden Shoemake waiting on it. It'll come down and land in his glove for the first out. So DeLuzio has been popped up 3 times today. 1 on, 1 out for Evan Mendoza. But anyways, games like this, the Johnny Allstaff day back in 2019, when you had a roster that maybe was 13 or 14 pitchers deep, you had to have somebody go 2, 3, 4 innings in there to make it work. Stripers, as most other AAA teams have as well, they have 18 pitchers on the roster now. The size of the AAA roster went up from 25 to basically 28 active, but you can have 33 in total on the roster, just 28 active for the game. So your starting rotation pitchers that can't throw anyways are your inactives, more or less. Check swing, called strike. The count 0-2 on Mendoza, who's 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 runs, and a steal in the 9th spot. Alanis, the 0-2, outside. And it's a 1-2 count. So gone most of the time are the days where you burn up all your pitchers and then have to use a position player in a game like this. Normally you've got enough arms to get through it. And then some. As the front door slider catches Mendoza looking, he's gone on strikes. A punch out for Alanis, and 2 gone in the 5th. Stripers looking for their first scoreless frame since the 2nd. And we go to the top for Kramer Robertson, who drew a walk and scored a run in the 4th. He is 0 for 2. Let's go ahead and get him out here and make Lars Nootbaar have to lead off an inning instead of batting with runners aboard. And the first pitch from Alanis is away for ball 1. Time called for and granted to Robertson. Alanis, the 1-0. On the outside corner, strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ali Sanchez led off with a single and is still aboard at first with 2 outs. And the 1-1 pounds the glove of Ryan Castile. A strike, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alanis, the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him waving at the outside slider. A pair of strikeouts for R.J. Alanis, and most importantly, a scoreless 5th, and hopefully we'll see him work the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th first. Stripers trying to get back into it. They trail Memphis 9-1 here on MyCountry993.com. Dave Lazat back with you at Coolray Field here in Lawrenceville, Georgia. We go to the bottom of the 5th. A day that has been ruled by the Redbirds. Memphis up 9-1. Still time for the Stripers to climb back into it, but they are dealing with Johan Oviedo on cruise control once again today. Bill Gosselin led off the game with a solo homer to tie it at 1, but no Stripers had a hit since then. And they've had only 2 base runners, a hit batter and a walk. And the last 3 in a row have been struck out by Oviedo as he misses way outside, ball 1 to John Nagowski. Nagowski 0 for 1 with a pop up to right. The kick and the pitch from Oviedo, check swing. They appeal to first, and he checked in time, says Tom West. A 2-0 count to no-go. Teammate of Oviedo's a year ago with Memphis, 2-0. That's hit softly off the end of the bat, rolling up the first base line, foul. Nagowski didn't put a full swing on that baseball. And thankfully for him, it stayed on the foul side of the line, 2-1 the count. Two-one pitch. Line drive, right field, base hit. There's Gwinnett's first hit since the Gosselin leadoff homer. Good piece of opposite field hitting by John Nagowski, serving in that ball into right. And that'll bring up Ryan Castile. Castile hit in the arm by a pitch back in the third, made it all the way to third base, left stranded. Bouncing the bat on the back shoulder with the open stance, and the first pitch is fouled away to the right. 7 hits for Castile this year. 4 have been solo homers. Second-year member of the Stripers, had a big year with the long ball last year in his limited action. Oviedo's 0-1 is across for a strike. 0-2 the count. Oh-2 pitch, trying to go front door with a breaking ball at 88, missed inside. And Castile still up there with a ball and 2 strike count. I'll put a couple of runs up on the board here in the 5th, maybe get that bullpen active for the Redbirds. Be a start to something here as Castile is rung up on a pitch that almost hit him. That was an inside slider, almost grazed him in the hand, it looked like. And he's rung up by John Bacon, immediately turned around and said something to Bacon. And honestly, I can't blame him. That pitch was inside. So Castile is gone. I don't think he's been ejected from the game. And now here's Delino DeShields at the plate. First pitch bounces away from the catcher Sanchez to the backstop. And John Nagowski will advance 90 feet on the wild pitch by Oviedo, one of the few miscues he's had all day today. So the Stripers have a runner in scoring position for DeShields with a count of 1-0. And the pitch from Oviedo, that is inside. That's about where Castile just saw strike 3. And DeShields checked on it. Was not called a strike here. Count is 2 balls, no strikes. A 2-0 pitch from Oviedo, right down the middle of strike. And you know it's got to be egregious too when it's a catcher that's hitting, because of course the catcher's trying to get in the good graces of the home plate umpire, trying to establish a good connection, get a preferable strike zone. Castile had no qualms about turning around and speaking his piece to John Bacon. And that's certainly not a pitch that any Stripers pitcher has had as a called strike today. But we move on. 3-1 the count on DeShields. Nagowski takes his lead from second. Pitch on the way from Oviedo, and that is on the outside edge for a strike. And DeShields thought he had himself ball 4. So it's a full count. Tough to have the inside and the outside strike at the same time, but Johan Oviedo living a charmed life right now. 3-2. And that's on the corner for strike 3, and DeShields not going to be happy about that. Let's see what Matt Tuiasosopo's reaction is. It is a non-reaction right now. Let's watch the last result, and for Oviedo, it's close. I mean, it's too close to take, I guess. Some two-seam run on it, back to the glove of the catcher, Ali Sanchez, who did his best to leave it there for strike 3, got the call. I have less of an issue with the 2 on the outside corner to DeShields than the 1 in on the hands of Castile that, again, almost hit him. Even if that ball's got extreme late break on it, it doesn't feel like that was near the inside corner at all. And now Phil Gosselin will take a slider that spins from the inside corner over the heart of the plate. So it's Nagowski at second, but now 2 outs, and the count 0-2 on Gosselin, who has driven in Gwinnett's lone run of the day. And he checks on the fastball. That one just off the plate at 97. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that last one was not too far off from the ones that DeShields just took for strike 2 and 3. Oviedo the 1-2. A ground ball softly hit to the right side. Second baseman Mendoza sliding over, tossing to first. Gosselin hustling up the line, but he's retired 4-3, and the inning is over. Stripers can make use of a leadoff single from John Nagowski, and we will head to the 6th. Memphis leading it big time, 9-1 over the Stripers here on MyCountry993.com. Victor Vodnik, the newest member of your Gwinnett Stripers bullpen and one of the top Braves prospects, according to MLB.com, will be the new pitcher here in the 6th. And the first man he'll be tasked with facing is the white-hot Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar is the story today. 3 homers, including a grand slam. He's driven in 7 of the 9 Memphis runs, and he is the reason why they lead it 9-1. No player has ever had a 4-homer game against Gwinnett. Let's see what happens here as Vodnik catches the outside corner, strike 1 to Nootbaar, 0-1 the count. This is the second AAA appearance for Vodnik after starting the year with 7 scoreless outings with AA Mississippi. And he misses down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Had a couple of walks in his debut, but got a double play to help him out of it. And so his ERA at the AAA level is 0. And he misses inside to Nootbaar, 2-1 the count. He's rated the Braves number 12 prospect by MLB.com. Another young arm shooting right through this Braves organization. Vodnik's 2-1, that is lifted to deep center. Maybe not quite this time though, as DeShields is underneath. He'll make the catch just shy of the warning track. Not this time, Nootbaar. Just got under that. I don't think it's the last time we'll see him swing the bat today, though. And Victor Vodnik has out number 1. Vodnik is the 5th pitcher used out of the bullpen, 6th overall today. And that's going to mean a long day of me updating bullpen boxes for the game notes prior to the series opener in Norfolk on Tuesday. Paul DeYoung, the batter, a swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike to count. DeYoung today 1 for 3, a single and a run scored as part of the 5-run 4th. And missing down and into the dirt is Vodnik, 2 balls, 1 strike. R.J. Alaniz threw a scoreless inning. First Stripers pitcher to accomplish that feat today, and now hopefully Vodnik will be the second. As his fastball touching 97 tails outside, a 3-1 count. 22-year-old Victor Vodnik, Whittier, California native, Braves 14th round pick out of Rialto High School in California back in 2018. A swing and a miss by DeYoung, 3-2. Was a starter a year ago with Mississippi, injury-shortened season. 11 starts for the M-Braves. As DeYoung fouls it back to the screen, 3-2 it remains. At a 5.35 ERA, went 1-4, 2.52 opponent average. This is his first year entrenched as a reliever. And he misses inside to DeYoung, a walk with 1 out here in the 6th. And the blueprint is there for Victor Vodnik. He doesn't throw quite as hard as Spencer Strider, though you could pretty much say that about every pitcher on the planet. But Vodnik very much in that hard-throwing right-hander mode of Strider. William Woods. Woods has been up this year. This is a bullet to short, down to an ego. Shoemake to second for 1. Gosselin tosses to first. There's a double play. So Victor Vodnik induces the 6-5-3 double play as the Stripers were in the shift. And that makes it a scoreless 6th. Welcome back to Coolray Field. We go to the home half of the 6th inning. Stripers trailing the Memphis Redbirds 9-1. In the final game of the 6-game series, Stripers have already won the series, up 4 games to 1. Like a better result in the finale. We're running out of time to close that big gap. New pitcher on the mound is Kyle Ryan, and the left-hander's first pitch ties up Braden Shoemake up and in for strike 1. So Johan Oviedo is finally done after 5. We'll get you his final line momentarily as Ryan straightens up and delivers the 0-1 to Shoemake. Swing and a miss. Slow curveball at 78, dancing past the bat. And the count 0-2 for Shoemake. He's 0 for 1 with a pop-up and a walk. Coming off the 4-hit night last night. Ryan's 0-2. Ran it too far inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Johan Oviedo, who went 7 innings, a 1-run ball in the opening game of the series. Not quite as deep into the game today. 5 innings. A 1-run ball again. 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And watch out. Shoemake got one headed for his ear hole. It was a backup slider. And Shoemake was able to spin out of the way. He's already had 1 injury scare today. Let's not see another one. Ryan's 2-2. Shot foul left side out of play. If you missed it earlier, Connor Capel sliding into second base. Ran over the glove and took the glove off of Braden Shoemake. He also got a very tough error for that, a missed catch error, but there's no really other way to rule it. Looked like he might have to come out of the game, but stayed in. Swinging the bat for the second time since that scary sight happened right around the second base bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count on Shoemake. He's got the whole third base line if he can go that way against the lefty Ryan. Here is the 2-2. It is out to left field and towards the line. And unable to get there. It gets by Connor Capel. That's going to be extra bases for Shoemake. How many does he want? He's going to take off for third here. And he's going to make it with a head-first dive. A triple for Shoemake. Low liner out to left field. Capel thought about laying out for it, kind of played it halfway between. It got by him and into the corner, and Shoemake showing off the speed. Hit the second base bag with a full head of steam, kept on going, and makes it to third for the triple. And as we see the instant replay, Capel decided last minute not to try the dive, tried to lay up and play it into a 1-bounce single, but couldn't do that either. And now the Stripers have a chance to get their first run since the first. Preston Tucker, the batter. Pitch inside, ball 1. Shoemake's at third base. And with an 8-run lead, the Redbirds will keep their infield playing back here. A swing and a miss. Weak cut there by Tucker. And a 1-1 count. Tucker's 0 for 2. A strikeout, a ground out. Shoemake's triple, just the 3rd Gwinnett hit today. Ryan drops deals, swing and a miss. Or he did get a piece of it, but fouled it back to the mid. Either way, 1 ball, 2 strikes for Tucker. For the bottom of the 6th. If the Stripers could put up a nice crooked number here in this inning, they've got a shot to get back into it. 1-2. Right off the end of the bat, foul. Right over towards the on-deck circle where Hernan Perez waits. Perez tried to knock it down out of the air with his own bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count on Tucker. Shoemake has dirtied up the front of that faux back Stripers jersey. 1-2. Checks the swing. They want the appeal to third. And he checked in time, says Chris Marco. So it's evened up at 2-2 for Tucker. Sun scorching the entirety of the field here at Coolray Field. Temperature at 85. Wind blowing right to left. Here's the 2-2 to Tucker. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Kyle Ryan's got his first out of the inning as he fans Tucker. Here's Hernan Perez for the 3rd time today. A line out to left and a strikeout. Straightening up is the lefty Ryan. First pitch to Perez. Wraps inside, ball 1. 30-year-old Kyle Ryan, second appearance of the series, 15th of the year for the Redbirds. 2-0 with a 4.24 ERA, 2.79 opponent average. And is 1-1 to Perez. Again spinning inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan, a longtime major leaguer with Detroit and the Chicago Cubs. 190 major league appearances, 7 starts. And this ball is roped into left field, a base hit for Perez. In to score from third is Braden Shoemake. And the Stripers get to within 7 of the Redbirds. They've cut it to a 9-2 ball game on Perez's 7th RBI of the year. And so Shoemake will let off with a triple, gets to trot home. Perez had a big hit in last night's game that really didn't get the full attention it deserved. Had an RBI double that proved to be the game winner. It was this man's homer, Alex Dickerson, that changed the course of the game, as he almost is hit by a high and tight slider at 84. It's ball 1. Perez held on at first base, pitch tailing low. The count 2 balls, no strikes for Dickerson, and that's going to draw Ali Sanchez to go chat with Johan Oviedo. Stripers Baseball brought to you by Smile Doctors Orthodontics. They accept most insurance, and whether it's braces or Invisalign aligners, anyone can get the smile they've always wanted with our flexible payment options with some of the country's leading orthodontists right here in the Atlanta area. We love to see Stripers fans smile with confidence. SmileDoctors.com. That's the home of Smile Doctors Orthodontics, the official smile provider of your Gwinnett Stripers. So Dickerson waiting on a 2-0 pitch. It leaves the hand of Ryan. It's fouled off the gear of the catcher Sanchez. And the count at 2 balls, 1 strike. Hernan Perez, an RBI single here in this 6th inning. Not much of a lead at first base. Here comes the 2-1, and that's in the air, pretty well struck to left field. Capel into the corner. He'll run out of room. It lands by the high top tables, and it's foul for Dickerson. So Dickerson back to home plate. Picks up the tan bat, digs back into the left-handed batter's box. Two-two. Outside, framed by Sanchez. Won't get the call this time around. It's a full count. All the infielders engage with the dirt. But third base wide open to Dickerson. Runner fakes taking off. It's a line shot over the outstretched mitt of Evan Mendoza. Back-to-back singles for the Stripers. As Dickerson's able to pull that one just out of the reach of Mendoza, try to time his leap. If they're still in their regular shift, he might be right in that spot to make the catch. But with 2 strikes, they elected to bring the infielders all onto the dirt. Still in a shifted look, though. And Dickerson doing what he has to do, pulling it to that right side and through. That's more in line with the approach and swing changes he's made than trying to go the opposite way there. And here now's Grayson Genesta. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, trying to break free from a frustrating day so far. First pitch is down the middle for strike 1, 0-1 the count. And a great throw from right field that on most nights would get a base runner sliding into second. Here's the 0-1. Low and in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. That was that play that went awry for Braden Shoemake. But again, Shoemake's just fine. He's tripled and scored in this inning. Here's the 1-1. And here's a chopper to the right side. Mendoza's going to go down to second. That's the only runner they'll get. As Genesta reaches on a fielder's choice, Mendoza had an opportunity to either go to first or to second. Chose to go down to second. Genesta runs too fast for it to be a double play, though. Perez gets to third base. Dickerson erased 4-6 at second. And it's first and third with 2 outs for John Nogowski, who singled into right field his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He's got that whole right field side open. And the first pitch pounded foul behind the plate, strike 1. Again, that's often the thing pointed out by fans. If they shift to a certain side of the field, go ahead and hit it to the other side. One, that's difficult to do as a hitter, and two, there's guys with approaches that dictate that they need to drive it and pull it. And No-Go, certainly one of those guys. His pull power is out to left and left center. Not going to hit too many home runs the opposite way. And that's basically the extent of what Dickerson was talking about on our pregame interview yesterday, that he had gotten so opposite field heavy, facing really right-handed pitchers only in a platoon situation, that he had lost some of his ability to really hit the ball hard and for power to right center. Can't lose yourself as a hitter as Nogowski lifts one down the right field line out of play. You got to do what makes you, you. And there are some guys who are built to hit to all fields, and there are others who are not. First and third for the Stripers here in the 6th. And Nogowski with a base hit into left field. He's got a 2-hit day. In from third to score is Hernan Perez, and they keep the line moving. It's now a 9-3 deficit. Nogowski's 14th RBI of the year. Things starting to click for him at the plate. He got a pitch to pull and lined it right on through that 6-hole. So Perez, who singled to drive it a run, he scores. Genesta down to second, and that's going to bring out Brandon Allen, your acting manager. That's going to open up their bullpen gate. And it's the end of the line for Kyle Ryan. He'll step out for the pitching change. Redbirds making the change as the Stripers mount a comeback here in the 6th. 2 on with 2 outs. 2 runs have scored. Gwinnett now down by 6. Trailing 9-3 here in the 6th to the Redbirds on mycountry993.com. The new pitcher for the Memphis Redbirds is right-hander James Nail. He replaces lefty Kyle Ryan, who got touched up for 2 runs on 4 hits here in this 6th inning. Stripers showing they're going to hang around on this Sunday after falling behind 9-1. They have made it a 9-3 score. And hopefully more coming. Ryan Castile will be the first man to face the righty James Nail. Pitches for the 2nd time in the series. Castile hit by a pitch and called out looking at a strike 3 in his 2 at-bats today. 29-year-old James Nail with the baseball in the pocket of the mitt. He'll turn it loose to Castile, fouled off to the right side over the roof. Nail 6'4", 185 pounds. He's from Missouri. Former 20th round pick of the Oakland Athletics, son of UAB. And on for the 16th time with Memphis this year. Is 0-1 to Castile, runs high and tight. 2-2 record for Nail, 4.03 ERA, 15 games, 1 start. 3.01 opponent average, 8 walks, 20 strikeouts. Is 1-1. Check swing. That is low. 2-1 the count to Castile. And if Castile could give one a ride right now, that would certainly put this back into a competitive ball game. 2-1 pitch. Lays off. It's down and away. It's 3-1. Genesta at second, Nogowski at first. Hitters count of 3-1 for Castile. And the pitch from Nail, a line drive up the middle, and it's caught out of the air by Evan Mendoza. Timed the leap just right, took away a couple of RBIs from Castile. And that ends the rally frame for the Stripers. They get 2 runs on 4 hits here in the 6th. And they close to within a 9-3 deficit of Memphis. As we go to the top of the 7th, it's Gwinnett Stripers baseball on mycountry993.com. To the top of the 7th we go at Coolray Field. Stripers with a pair of runs in the 6th. They have closed to within 6 runs of the Redbirds, but it's still Memphis on top 9-3. And Victor Vodnik worked a scoreless and pretty quick 6th inning, so he'll pitch the 7th. First pitch to Connor Capel popped up to the left side and out of play. And a count of 0-1 on Capel. Vodnik walked Paul DeYoung, but then got a 6-5-3 double play to essentially make it a 1-2-3 inning. And Vodnik missing down below the knees, a 1-1 count. Victor Vodnik wearing the number 33, left behind by Tucker Davidson. And is 1-1 is popped up. Shallow left. Coming on is Alex Dickerson. He'll measure it up, and he makes the catch, 1 away. As mentioned, Vodnik was a starter with Mississippi last year, 11 starts, 1-4 with a 5.35 ERA. And then he was on the injured list for 2 long stints, May 30th through July 8th. And August 16th through the rest of the season was not on their postseason roster. Didn't get a chance to pitch in that AA South Championship Series, though I'm sure they probably still gave him a ring for his 11 regular season starts. And he's quickly ahead of Lucan Baker, who can't check on the 0-1, 0-2 the count. Oh-2 from Vodnik, swing and a miss, strike 3. He fans Lucan Baker. Baker's had a rough series, a lot of punch-outs for him, and now Vodnik's fanned him. And 2 gone here in the 7th. Earlier on this series, I caught up with the director of pitching development for the Braves, Paul Davis, who was in town surveying this Gwinnett crew, and one of the things I asked him about was the philosophy on the fast promotions of guys like Strider and Elder and Woods. As here's a grounder up the middle, fielded by Shoemake. He'll let loose the throw to first, and no time for that story now. Thanks to Victor Vodnik, of course, a 1-2-3 7th, and it's stretch time at Coolray Field. It's the home half of the 7th here at Coolray Field. The Stripers down 9-3 to the Memphis Redbirds in the final game of the 6-game series. Stripers are off tomorrow. They hit the road for a 6-game set at the Norfolk Tides at Harbor Park starting up on Tuesday. It's the AAA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. Next time you'll be able to see Gwinnett here at home is on Memorial Day, Monday, April 30th, and you'll want to be here for it. Stripers will have post-game Memorial Day fireworks. They'll also be wearing Gwinnett Peach's retro specialty jerseys. Should be a very fun evening. A 7:05 p.m. start time on Monday, May 30th. Delino DeShields Jr. looking at ball 1 from James Nail. DeShields 0 for 2 in the 9 spot, a pop-up and a strikeout today. And Nail will miss low and outside here. 2 balls, no strikes. Stripers scored a pair of runs off the lefty Kyle Ryan in the 6th. Nail came on and finished the inning. Got Ryan Castile to line out to second. And now he deals a strike, 2-1 on DeShields. That ball that Castile hit, gotten over the glove of Evan Mendoza, would have probably scored 2. And we'd be talking about a 4-run game right now. As dominant today as it has appeared for Memphis, with Lars Nootbaar driving in 7 and Johan Oviedo tossing 5 one-run innings. Stripers still alive in this contest as a foul ball struck the side of the mask of the catcher Ali Sanchez. You don't see too many foul tips that ricochet just like that one did, right off the side of the mask. Got his bell rung, and the trainer is going to come out to take a look. Thankfully for Sanchez, he wears that newer designed catcher's mask that looks a lot more like a hockey goalie mask, but he took one straight to the temple there. I'm sure he's going to stay in. They're going to give him a minute, try and clear the cobwebs. And that is the case. He'll stay in. Those masks are now built to absorb high impact like that, but still, sure can't feel too good when your head's inside of it. My head hurts just thinking about it. So the at-bat continues for DeShields. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. And the pitch from Nail, foul to the right side over the roof. We are over 2 hours into this one in the bottom of the 7th inning. We've been seeing these games end about 2 hours and 15 minutes in. So we'll play a little bit later than normal today, I guess. 3-2. Ball 4. And DeShields, who has drawn a fair share of walks this year, will be a leadoff man aboard in the 7th for Phil Gosselin. Gosselin, a great start to the day for the Stripers. Homered on Johan Oviedo. Leadoff shot to tie it at 1 apiece in the first. And now we'll see if he can be a part of their comeback bid as he takes low and outside, ball 1. Slider breaks over the heart of the plate for strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gosselin. By the way, for DeShields now, that's his 18th walk of the year. That leads the ball club. 1-1, swing and a miss. And Gosselin behind the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That home run he hit in the first, his only hit of the day. Yes, he is 1 for 3. Nails 1-2, and it looked like that might have dropped out of the strike zone, but Ali Sanchez brought it back up, framed it, and they get a called strike 3 on Gosselin. Looked like where Sanchez caught it was low. At any rate, it's a strikeout for Nail and 1 out. Here's Braden Shoemake. One of the highlights offensively for the Stripers today, a triple. It was past the in-between attempt by Connor Capel in left field, got to the wall in the left field corner. And Shoemake later came in to score on a base hit by Hernan Perez. 1 ball, no strikes the count here to Shoemake. And a chopper up the first base line, foul over towards the end of the Memphis dugout. Braves and Marlins tied at 1, top of the 6th at Lone Depot Park in Miami. Braves got a run in the top of the 5th to knot it up. And now Shoemake pops one up down the left field line. That is headed towards the seats. Game tying run coming on an RBI single by Dansby Swanson, scoring Ozzie Albies. Braves are trying to sweep that 3-game series in Miami and get to within a game of the 500 mark. 1-2 pitch to Shoemake. That's teed up to straightaway center. Pretty well hit. DeLuzio back onto the track, reaching up. He'll make the catch. And DeShields is going to try to tag from first to second, and he'll make it sliding in feet first. So Shoemake showing off the opposite gap power. Now towards the Georgia power sign. And Ben DeLuzio had to go to the track to make the catch. And I put the thought in the mind of Delino DeShields that he might try tagging to second, and made it easily. So runner at second with 2 outs. Here's Preston Tucker, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. And he'll foul it off for strike 1. Three runs on 6 hits for the Stripers today, but Memphis with 9 runs on 13 hits. 3 of which are Lars Nootbaar homers. The set and the pitch. Missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We are due to see Ben DeLuzio, Evan Mendoza, Kramer Robertson in the 8th. And probably Nootbaar one more time, either in the 8th or the 9th today. 1-1 pitch. That's hit hard to the ground. Left side and through. A base hit for Tucker. DeShields with great wheels, rounds, and scores. And the Stripers keep on coming. They're to within 5 runs now on the first hit of the day by Tucker. Inside out, ground ball to left. That's his 16th RBI. And the Stripers now trail at 9-4. Here's Hernan Perez, an RBI single his last time up. He is 1 for 3 out of the cleanup spot. Inching away from first is Tucker. Pitch by James Nail, sails away. Ball 1. A 1-0 count to Perez. Bullpen quiet for the Redbirds, with Nail working his first full inning of relief after replacing the lefty Kyle Ryan an inning ago. And down into the dirt for a 2-0 count on Perez. 2 outs, and here's a ground ball right to short. Shoveling underhanded is DeYoung to Mendoza. Force play at second on Tucker ends the inning. Stripers continue to chip away. They get an RBI single from Tucker, scoring Delino to Shields. But Memphis still in control. They lead at 9-4. We will go to the 8th. We go to the top of the 8th inning here at Coolray Field in Lawrenceville, where the Stripers trail the Memphis Redbirds 9-4. Gwinnett got a run in the home half of the 7th inning on an RBI single by Preston Tucker. Gwinnett has trailed by as many as 8 today, 9-1 the score after Lars Nootbaar's grand slam in the 4th. Give the Stripers credit, trying to hang around here late. And now we'll see if Michael Tonkin has a shutdown inning as he replaces Victor Vodnik. It'll be Tonkin working to Ben DeLuzio, Evan Mendoza, and then Kramer Robertson. If it gets past that trio, we'd see Nootbaar once again. And here is DeLuzio, who's done nothing but pop it up today. Foul territory to first and to third, and last time kept it fair but still popped up to short. And Tonkin's first pitch is strike 1. 0-1 the count. One ball, 1 strike on DeLuzio. From the 32-year-old Michael Tonkin, 6'7", 220. A swing and a miss. Fastball at 94 in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Glendale, California native is Tonkin, on for the 12th time with Gwinnett this year. 2-0, 3.38 ERA. 220 opponent average. Also 3 saves, 3 for 4 in that department. Last time we saw him, he was locking down a save. As DeLuzio spoils one foul to the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It was on Thursday night, got the save. 1 inning pitched, 1 strikeout. Tries to come in the front door with the slider, but misses. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stripers for a good long stretch didn't have any saves. You know, they've had Tonkin, Dylan Lee, and Brad Brock all recording saves on this homestand. Here's the 2-2. Inside again, missing with a front door slider attempt. Full count. The 6'7" righty twists and deals, swinging a foul back. And DeLuzio stays in there with a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Nice job done by Victor Vodnik today. Second AAA appearance for Vodnik. 2 innings, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Everything else zeros. As DeLuzio shoots one foul into the protective screen on the right side. Still a 3-2 count. We've seen Nolan Kingham, Brandon Sittinger, Thomas Burrows, Connor Johnstone, R.J. Alaniz, Victor Vodnik, and now Michael Tonkin pitch in this game for Gwinnett. It's like an early spring training game almost, as DeLuzio fouls off another one. Still somewhat surprised that Kingham only worked 1 inning in his spot start. He had a 4-inning spot start earlier this year. But probably due to the fact that Kingham had just worked 2 nights ago and threw 34 pitches. They really didn't have a long leash on him. So that was the plan all along, was 1 inning out of Kingham and then piece it together the rest of the way. As DeLuzio continues to battle, fouls another one up on top of the roof. Still a 3-2 count. Got a little bit of length on a Brandon Sittinger today, an inning and 2/3. The one that may have been slated to go 2 or 3 is Connor Johnstone, but he got touched up for 5 runs on 6 hits, only went 1 inning. Another pop-up, and this time it's caught by a fan at about the 5th row behind the tarp. And the barehanded basket catch. Count is full on DeLuzio. Here's the pitch from Tonkin. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Finally goes and gets him. DeLuzio fought off many a 2-strike pitch, but Tonkin ultimately wins the battle for the first out of the 8th, and here is Evan Mendoza. So the Stripers have had to use a lot of arms today from Memphis, though. It's been their starter, Johan Oviedo, for 5, and they've only had 2 relievers working so far. We may see their 3rd. When this game moves to the bottom of the 8th, they do have action in their bullpen. 0-1 the count on Mendoza. The pitch from Tonkin. Line drive, right field, base hit. Perez tried to take it away, but the ball took off past his glove. And so Mendoza's got 3 hits in the 9th spot. Other 2 times he has hit his way aboard, he has come around to score a run. And we go to the top for Kramer Robertson, and unless they can induce a double play from Robertson, they might have to face Lars Nootbaar with runners on base again. Up and into Robertson, bailing out of the box for ball 1. Robertson a walk, the only time he has reached. That was in the 4th. He is 0 for 3. A ground out, pop up, and strikeout. Tonkin's 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And it is 1-1 on Robertson. Feels like we've seen a lot of this Memphis club. This is the 12th game between these two this year. They'll face each other more than any other teams this season. Robertson looks at a strike on the edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. $27 meetings in total between the Stripers and the Redbirds in 2022. Swing and a miss, strike 3, down goes Robertson. So 2 strikeouts for Michael Tonkin. Here is the man of the day, Lars Nootbaar. I just about called him Lars Nootbaar, which is as funny a name as Lars Nootbaar anyways. Held him inside the ballpark last time up. First pitch is a strike. Outer 3rd slider from Tonkin. 0-1 the count. Nootbaar a solo shot in the 1st. Hit a 3-run blast in the 3rd. And a grand slam in the 4th. And he takes for a 1-1 count. And let me revise that slightly. 2-run shot in the 3rd. Not 3. 2 runs. So he's got 7 RBIs today. He's driven in 7 of their 9 runs. And once again, Tonkin able to pick the outside corner with a slider at 84. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nootbaar. First opponent against Gwinnett with a 3-homer day since Eric Stamitz of Columbus back in 2017. The 1-2. And that looked pretty close to a strike 3. But not to be for Tonkin. 2-2 for Nootbaar. Again, there's only been 1 player who has ever had a 4-homer game against the Gwinnett/Richmond franchise, and that hasn't happened since Bubba Trammell in 1997. He was with Toledo. Here's the 2-2. on the outside corner. Have a look, take a seat. Sometimes you feel like a newt, sometimes you don't. And with that, we will go to the bottom of the 8th. Stripers trailing Memphis 9-4 here on mycountry993.com. Michael Tonkin struck out the side in the top of the 8th, including fanning Lars Nootbaar looking. So they win the battle against Nootbaar and hopefully his final at-bat of the ball game. And now the Stripers will try to keep the comeback going. They've scored the last 3 runs of this game to go from down 9-1 to down 9-4. And they will have Alex Dickerson, Grayson Genesta, and John Nagowski due up. That's the 5, 6, and 7 to face a new right-hander. This is Zach McAllister. 34-year-old McAllister making his second appearance of the series. And he'll face the nearly 32-year-old Alex Dickerson. First pitch is low and in at the feet of Dickerson, ball 1. Swinging a foul tip on the McAllister fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 34-year-old Zach McAllister from Peoria, Illinois. Former 3rd-round pick of the Yankees way back in 2006 out of high school. Low and outside, the count 2 balls, 1 strike. Dickerson today 1 for 3 out of the number 5 spot. Pops this up, back behind the plate. Sanchez giving it a look, but that's on top of the roof over the press box, and the count 2-2 for Dickerson. Fourteenth outing for McAllister at the AAA level this year. He's got a 6.46 ERA. He's been hit pretty hard. 11 runs on 15 hits over 15 and a third innings. Here's the 2-2. A chopper past the mound, racing in the shortstop. Make that the third baseman, Robertson. He'll let loose the throw to first base to get Dickerson. It'll be a 5-3. Robertson was the only man on that left side of the field. The ball came bouncing right to him. And here's Grayson Genesta. Genesta has reached once on a fielder's choice today, but is hitless as McAllister drops the arm and fires a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 dives outside as McAllister falls off third base side of the mound. And a count of 1 ball and 1 strike on Genesta. Zach McAllister, longtime member of the Cleveland Indians staff. Transition from starter into reliever about halfway through his time with Cleveland. As his slider spins inside on Genesta, 2-1. Had a 22-start season in 2012, 24 starts in 2013. I guess his best season was 2013, went 9-9 with a 3.75 mark. He'll miss downstairs to Genesta, 3-1. Started to make the move more towards the bullpen in 2014. And then in 2015 had 60 appearances out of the pen. Fully changed into that role. 3-1. Inside corner strike. Genesta thought he had himself ball 4. He'll walk all the way out of the box. He's going to run out the clock if he doesn't get back, but certainly he was disappointed. Strike zone's been a bit of a crapshoot today. Here's the 1-2. And that's on the corner, called strike 3. So 2 gone. And here is John Nagowski. McAllister, part of the Indians' run to the World Series in 2016. 3-2 in 53 appearances that year, had a 3.44 ERA. And pitched in 3 games in that postseason for Cleveland, had an ERA of 9. It's the only time he's been in the playoffs. And he's got himself an American League championship ring. Assuming the club gave those out that year. They typically do. Check swinging a called strike on Nogowski, 0-2. You always hear about the team that wins the World Series and what their ring will look like. But the team that makes it to the World Series and loses nearly always makes their own ring, celebrating their league championship. And Nogowski pokes one to right field. That's going to sit for a base hit. John Nogowski, a 3-hit day. Starting to use right field a lot more. Although he has an RBI single pulled into left today as well. Doing whatever he can to get that average rising back over 200, and a 3-hit day will help that out big time. Here's Ryan Castile. And Castile lifts one down the left field line, but this ball is over towards the seats, foul. Well, if Castile could give one a ride out towards the field house, as he does many, many, many times in his BP rounds every day, Stripers could climb to back within 3 runs in this one. They trail 9-4. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs, runner at first. Zach McAllister's first inning of relief work. And he'll spin that sidearm slider in there for a strike, 0-2. Oh-2 pitch, outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. You have to wonder, obviously, you know, when you're playing for a team in a World Series, as Zach McAllister was a member of Cleveland in 2016, you know where his loyalties are at that point, but he's born in Peoria, Illinois. You have to wonder if it was a surreal experience watching the Cubs end up winning it. Swinging a foul back to the screen by Castile, and the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Although, being somebody who grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, watching the Brewers play, there was none of that feeling for me when the Braves dispatched Milwaukee in the NLDS last year, so it's probably the same story for McAllister. And there's a rocket shot down the left field line from Castile, but he pulled that foul up into the second deck of the field house. The lounge chairs out there. Hit it far and deep, but not on the fair side of the line. McAllister's 1-2 pitch, and that hits Castile in the back of the hand, and he's in immediate pain running up the first base line. And McAllister, with that sidearm delivery, is trying to throw it into Castile. Second time Castile's been hit today. Wore one off the bicep earlier. This time he gets it off the back of the hand, and they do judge that he wasn't swinging the bat in the act of trying to get out of the way, so he is hit by the pitch to put 2 on. It's been a busy day for Drew Garner and Dan Gartner, the 2 trainers for your Stripers. Garner got about 5 steps out of the Stripers' dugout with a long look to Castile. Castile waved him off. He goes back to the dugout with no visit. And so here is Delino DeShields Jr., 2 on, 2 outs. First pitch by McAllister, high and tight. DeShields does not have a homer this year. This would be a great time for one. Pitch from McAllister, tries to check, takes a strike instead. And McAllister keeps working into these right-handed hitters. Went too far into Castile and plunked him on the back of the hand. And now it's 1-1 on DeShields, the pitch. And he's able to find that inside corner again for a strike, 1-2. The same approach every time right now for McAllister. Might have him set up to work away now, though. The 1-2 is on the outside corner, called strike 3. So McAllister works around a single and a hit batter for a scoreless 8th. And we will go to the top of the 9th. Stripers trailing Memphis 9-4 here on MyCountry993.com. Hard-throwing right-hander Jesus Cruz will pitch the 9th for the Stripers. with Gwinnett trailing Memphis 9-4. Cruz following the work today of Nolan Kingham, Brandon Sittinger, Thomas Burrows, Connor Johnstone, R.J. Alanis, Victor Vodnik, Michael Tonkin. Truly a Johnny All-Staff day. Nobody has gone more than 2 innings. And now we'll see what Cruz has in store, facing Paul DeYoung, Alec Burleson, and Connor Capel, the 3, 4, and 5 for the Redbirds. Redbirds have been cooled off by the Stripers' bullpen staff. They haven't scored a run since the 5-run 4th. And really outside of Lars Nootbaar, rest of this lineup not exactly lighting it up today. First pitch from Cruz is an inside strike. 0-1 the count on DeYoung. A single, a walk, 1 for 3. 1 run scored for DeYoung out of the 3 spot. And up and in missing is Cruz. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Fastball at 95. From the 27-year-old from Salinas de Hidalgo, San Luis Potosi, Mexico. A swing and a miss. 95 again on the gun. 1-2 the count. Good size on Jesus Cruz. 6'1", 230. And his 1-2 on the way is scooped off the dirt by the catcher Castile. And the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cruz has been a nice pickup for the Braves organization here in Gwinnett. Pitched last year for Memphis and was a member of the Cardinals system. 2-2. Fouled off to the right, off the top of the roof, back down into the seats. 2.53 the ERA for Cruz. This is appearance number 10 out of the bullpen. Opponents are hitting just 158 against him. And DeYoung takes downstairs a full count. He's struck out 16 over 10 and 2/3 innings, has issued just 1 walk so far. As he twists and deals the 3-2, that's popped up. Shallow center. DeShields coming in for it. Plenty of time, he'll make the catch. 1 away in the 9th. Bring up Alec Burleson. And other than a career day for Nootbaar, Burleson also once again in the thick of it offensively. 2 for 4, 2 doubles, an RBI, and a run scored. This is ultimately the guy I'm going to miss seeing the least in this series. He sends one out towards the gap in left center. It's on by DeShields. It bounces over the wall for an automatic double, and that'll be the 3rd 2-base hit for Burleson today. This guy's hammered the baseball all over the ballpark for the entirety of the week. We'll see him again this year. As I mentioned, these two clubs played 27 times in 2022. Gwinnett will go back to Memphis out of the All-Star break, July 22nd through the 24th for a brief 3-game series. Memphis comes back here in August. And then Gwinnett goes back to Memphis one more time in September. Rosters, though, do often change. Who knows who we'll see on those teams by then. Burleson might be in the big leagues by that point, the way he has hit the baseball. Connor Capel, the batter, taking ball 1, 1-0 the count. And a fastball connects for strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. So obviously there's familiarity here in this lineup for Memphis with Cruz. They wouldn't have faced him, but they certainly know what he has and what his mental approach is. And he misses outside. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Stripers have collected more than a few former Memphis Redbirds in Cruz and Seth Elledge and John Nagowski. I don't know that there's anybody playing for Memphis, though, that's a former member of Gwinnett. Not a name that I see that's familiar. And I would know. I've been here for a while. Pitch is up and in, and the count is 3-1 on Capel. Burleson at second base after his 3rd double of the game. Jesus Cruz pumps home the 3-1. That's a low liner to left field. And it's in front of Dickerson. They're going to wave Burleson around. He will score. It's an RBI single for Connor Capel, and that's the first run put up by Memphis since the 5-run 4th. As their lead is back to 6, it's 10-4. And that's Capel's third hit of the day, so maybe throw out what I said about Lars Nootbaar. They do have some other guys getting it done in this order. So a run in on 2 hits, 1 out, runner at first. Here's Lucan Baker. They've kept him in check really all series. 3 strikeouts and a double play ground out today. And a swing and a miss. He's had a lot of holes in that bat. And swinging at a lot of air in this last week. 0-1 the count. Cruz delivers home. That's down and away. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Stripers will have the top of their order due up. Phil Gosselin, Braden Shoemake, Preston Tucker. Well, at least need 6 to tie it, depending on what happens with the rest of this top of the 9th, as Cruz makes it a 1-ball, 2-strike count. One-two on the way, grounded up the middle, knocked down by Cruz. He'll go to second, get the force play there, throw back to first, not in time for the double play. Cruz stuck out the glove, swung that arm back around, knocked the ball down, picked it up behind the mound and got the force play at second, so that'll go, I believe that was 1-4 at second to erase Capel. And then they tried to double up Lucan Baker, but he was just able to beat the throw to first base for a fielder's choice. If that ball had gotten through, it might have been a more tailor-made double play. It looked like Perez and Shoemake were both in position for it. But still good agility there and reflexes by Cruz knocking that ball down. And so now it's a runner at first with 2 outs. Ali Sanchez looked at strike 1. Time called for. Sanchez out of the box. Set at the letters is the righty Cruz in the 0-1. Fisted foul to the right side. Elsewhere in International League Baseball today, Scranton with a 6-2 win over Worcester at Polar Park. Lehigh Valley doubled up Rochester 4-2, the final at Frontier Field. Jacksonville winning 6-3 over Durham in game 1 of a doubleheader. Game 2 is just about to get underway. So a swing and a miss by Sanchez ends the inning. A run added by the Redbirds. Double for Burleson. RBI single for Capel. They lead at 10-4. Last chance for your Stripers coming up in the bottom of the 9th. That's after the break. It is Gwinnett Stripers baseball here on MyCountry993.com. Last chance for the Stripers on this sunny Sunday afternoon at Coolray Field. And they've got quite a gap to overcome. They're down 6, trailing 10-4 to the Memphis Redbirds. A 4-game winning streak hangs in the balance for Gwinnett. They have not won 5 in a row this season. And unless they come up with a big-time comeback, they won't get it to 5 straight today. Phil Gosselin, Braden Shoemake, Preston Tucker, 1-2-3 to face right-hander Blake Parker. He is the 4th reliever used after the starter Johan Oviedo today. And the first pitch to Gosselin, put on the ground, rolling out to the second baseman Mendoza. The toss to first, 1 gone. Phil Gosselin started his day with a homer, but he'll end it 1 for 5 with that home run. Again, most likely. Here's Braden Shoemake. Nearly knocked out due to injury, to tripling in scoring in the 6th inning. A 1 for 3 day for Shoemake as he faces Parker here with 1 out, nobody aboard. Parker, the glove way out extended from the body. And his first pitch to Shoemake is low and outside. Let's get some numbers on Parker. He's pitching in this series for the 2nd time. 36-year-old from Fayetteville, Arkansas, 6'3", 225. And the 1-0 pitch is popped up to shallow center. Starting back now, coming in for it is Ben DeLuzio. He'll make the head-high catch, 2 away. And the last man standing for the Stripers today, Preston Tucker. Parker A 2.70 ERA in 13 appearances for the Redbirds this year. 0-1 record, 152 opponent average. Spent some time with the Columbus Clippers last year. Didn't allow a run over 11 innings and was 4 for 4 in saves for the Clippers. First pitch, a strike on Tucker. 0-1 the count. Preston Tucker, an RBI single in the 7th, 1 for 4. Stripers have 4 runs on 8 hits today, but 10 runs on 16 hits for Memphis. Gwinnett with the game's only error. Parker, the 0-1, is grounded to first, juggled and recovered by Lucan Baker. He'll step on the bag, and that is your ball game. The Stripers see their 4-game winning streak come to a close because of a historic day offensively for Lars Nootbaar. He homers in each of his first 3 at-bats. Solo shot, 2-run blast, and a grand slam. And that slam turned it into a rout for the Redbirds. They win it today 10-4. That snaps their 4-game losing streak. Stripers do win the series 4 games to 2, but a tough way to end the series going into the off day tomorrow. We'll take time out. Back with the Celebrity Cruises post-game show next. Again, the final score today from Coolray Field: Memphis 10, Stripers 4 on MyCountry993.com.